Last week, as I was watching the Democratic National Convention, something really interesting happened. I don't know if you caught it. The first thing that occurred to me was on the third night, the night that President Obama spoke, he came out, he gave his speech, and after he was done, the crowd starts cheering, music goes up, and out onto the stage with her typical clownish over-the-top like, comes Hillary Clinton, right? Striding out onto the stage, goes over to Obama, they grab hands, then raise them into the air, and then for a period of time, they're holding hands together, waving to the crowd, holding each other's hands. It was in that moment, as they were holding hands, the camera, at least the network that I was watching, cut to Bill Clinton, Hillary's husband, up in the gallery, in the stands, smile on his face, clapping, cheering. By the way, and I put this on my Twitter, what was going on with Bill, man? This is a former president. The dude looked seriously like they had given him about a half ounce of mushrooms before every single night of that convention. He was just like, seriously. And then it played out the very last night, my favorite part. If you haven't seen this, Google Bill Clinton balloons. But after Hillary was done talking, everybody came out. Bill Clinton was just playing with balloons. Boom! At the end of it, he was kicking them. There were children on stage. He was playing with the children with this huge smile on his face. At the end, when the music had gone off, everybody had gone off stage. Here, the lone person on stage is former President of the United States, William Jefferson Clinton, with a huge blue balloon, like this big, holding it, kicking balloons into the audience with a giant grin on his face, like a child. Like a child. But to go back, that third night, there was that moment when Obama and Hillary are standing there hand in hand, waving, and Bill is way away on the other end of the whole arena, cheering, smile on his face. Well, his wife is holding another man's hand, and it stuck me, in my chair for about 10 minutes. And I was like, what is this doing? Why is this bothering me? Or what is this kicking off in my head? And then I realized that why I was getting triggered, Jesus, was because a week before, I had been reading this article. And now some of you may know that Pornhub has become this amazing data set for looking into the psychology of America in general. And basically what they've been doing is they've been saying, what are the most popular search terms for porn and from which states? And the article that I was reading was saying that cuckold porn, the word cuckold, the search term cuckold in Pornhub, has become the most popular in several states. And a lot of these states are what you would call red states, right? Republican-dominated, more conservative states. That's really where it shows up mostly. And then I realized that's what kicked it off. Because just the week before, if you go to Pornhub, if you don't know what cuckold porn is, and you're not at work right now, just go into a little incognito browser, or however you choose to browse your porn. Go to Pornhub, type in cuckold. Basically what you're gonna see is it's almost always, this is what it is, it's a white couple. Oh, by the way, we're gonna talk, this is a trigger warning, we are gonna talk about sex and race and psychology in this whole video. So this trigger warning, if you need to go to a safe space, go to a safe space. But if you're an adult, stick around. Okay, so you go to Pornhub, type in cuckold, you're gonna generally see a white couple and some black stud banging the dude's wife while he watches and kind of cheers them on. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is that what I'm looking at right now? Is there some psychosexual drama that's playing out on this political stage in election 2016? And you know what? There is. Let me explain. So Human sexuality and the psychology involved with human sexuality has always been fascinating to me. It's probably why I've found success and fame as an escort. Goes hand in hand, right? And it's something that I deal with every day. And as part of my professional development, looking deeper and deeper into the subject is just a part of who I am, and it's a part of what I do, and it makes me better at my profession, and it makes me a better individual. And you can't get into human sexuality and the psychology involved with that without getting into good old Sigmund Freud. And as I thought more, and that's why I'm doing this video, as I thought more, old Sigmund showed up in my head, and he was talking, and he was asking me to tell me about your mother. Because that's really what is going on here. We have such a unique election happening, and it's showing off just how sexually repressed Americans are. It's playing out even more so because now the communication between each other, between social media and and all of the networks that we have, the constant back and forth is really creating this communal consciousness that we can sort of query and look at. Sigmund Freud has several stages of human development. In his mind, so much of our psychology and so much of our motivation and so much of the things that we do, the neuroses that we have, whether we have an unhealthy or a healthy approach to life, has to do with how we have matured through our life sexually. What election 2016 is showing is that America is like 3 to 6 years old. And we're going through an Oedipus complex. Let me jump out. So, two fathers of psychology, modern psychology. You got Sigmund Freud, you got Carl Jung. I have heard a few commentators on the offhand, the real wonky ones, talk about sort of the Jungian idea that really what we're choosing between is we're choosing between a father figure and a mother figure. These two archetypes battling it out for sort of the soul and the psychology of America. Freud was not all down with Jung's archetypes. I think they're kind of useful, but really here's what's going on. We do have two archetypes that are, spot on. We have the father archetype. Let's talk about Donald Trump, right? You could not get more archetypical. Here you have this guy, brash, peacocking, arrogant, right? Typical male behavior, who is the quintessential sign of virility, right? And sexual prowess. You look at his wife, beautiful model. You look at his children, these perfect specimens, particularly his daughter, right? Where you look and you're just like, this guy, and not only that, like that would be good on its own, but he builds skyscrapers, giant phallic symbols all over the world, and stamps his name on them. Trump Towers is a big black dick in the middle of Manhattan that says Trump. There's a giant gold one just down the street from me here in Las Vegas. Think about this. This dude's putting phallic symbols up all over the place. This is, he's quintessential. And as his running mate, Pence, really? Could you be like one vowel sound off from penis? Like he literally picked a running mate whose name is damn near penis. Trump, Pence. It may as well be Trump penis. The way the subconscious is going to read it. This is so Freudian. It's crazy. Right? And then you have the mother archetype, right? Especially now that Bill Clinton is totally like whacked out of his mind on whatever drugs they're giving him. So you've got the put upon, ever suffering mother, right, who suffered through the philandering of her husband and all of his faults, and went on to do her thing, and now is having her time to show that she is truly capable and that it's all been worth it. Down to the fact of like, what is she known for apparel-wise? The pantsuit. Like, who wears the pants in this relationship? And now we see who wears the pants in the relationship. Right? And anybody who's been as I was, child of divorce and watched two parents go after each other for custody. I mean, could the Hillary versus Donald Trump battle and the way they're handling it be any more quintessential? I mean, even down to now the fight that's going on, it's that Khizr Khan guy, like as I'm recording this, that Khizr Khan guy going after Donald Trump, and he happens to be a lawyer, right? Because isn't that the quintessential, like the mother, it's always, she's suffering and she's a victim, and then the lawyer is going after the father, and this is the way that it's presented, right? And the father's an ass. You know, these are the back and forth. But when you get to Freud, right? And here, let me say this. What I'm talking about here is there are basically three categories of individuals in this election. There are individuals like me who don't vote. We'll say there's four kinds. There's individuals who don't vote, and they don't vote as a matter of principle. That's me. Maybe I'll get into that in some other videos, right? That's me. I don't vote as a matter of principle. It wouldn't matter who the hell was running. I don't vote. Then you're going to have the group of people who are just so disengaged that they don't vote. Right? Then you're going to have the people who are voting against someone. These are the never Trump, never Hillary people, right? They're voting against someone. And to a certain degree, this is about them. But what this is really about is this is about the supporters, because that's where the Freudian thing comes in. The people who are like, yes, Trump, yes, Hillary. And there are some people, and the supporters that this is not about are the people who have really gone through and looked at the platforms and looked at the policies, and there are certain policies that this person has or this person has that is like, whether or not it was Trump, whether or not it was Clinton, it's the platform and the policies, right? That's like 1% of the population. Everybody else is kind of like this nebulous, what's my feeling, right? What's my feeling about this person? How do I feel? And that's what the campaigns play up to, because that's a majority of people. I'm supporting this guy because, he's like me. He's a straight talker, right? I feel like this. What did they say with George Bush? Yeah, I feel like I could sit and have a beer with him. That's why so many people voted for him. And now with Hillary, there's a lot of people voting for her because she's a woman. Let's be real. The platform that she has, the speaking ability that she has, the charisma that she has, if she was a man, wouldn't really be here. But let's look at it from a Freudian standpoint, right? We're going through an Oedipus complex right now. Jung said that there was an Oedipus complex and an Electra complex. The Oedipus complex is basically how most people see it, is that it is the man, the child, the male child, vying for the love of the mother in competition with the father. This usually happens in what Freud calls the phallic stage, about 3 to 6 years of age. Jung said there was an Electra complex that is also the same thing, but it is the daughter vying for the attention of the father in competition with the mother. Freud said, not true, they both have an Oedipus complex, actually. And that how it ends up playing out in terms of neurosis is with men, it is castration anxiety and anxiety about having your genitals cut off. And with women, it is penis envy. And by that, he doesn't mean that women actually want to have a penis, but that in some way they desire to be a man. So what do we have? What do we have in terms of support for Trump? What is the platform that the people who are his most ardent supporters are all about? It's all about, let's build a wall and let's stop these terrorists from having the chance to attack us. It's like, let's stop people from coming in to try to take from us, to try to hurt us, to try to castrate us, to try to chop our balls off. Right? Let's make America great again. Right? We've been castrated. We've had our power taken away. Let's get our power back. Right? It's play on castration anxiety. And this is not happening like a puppet master. It's just that Trump fits the bill perfectly, and his message fits the bill. And he's just rolling with whatever resonates, as is Hillary Clinton. And what is Hillary Clinton's whole message? It's all about those who have traditionally not been in power taking power. Right? It's hammering home. First woman president, first woman president, first woman president. I'm with her. Now, how is that penis envy? Even the fact that the pronoun her is, and again, that's why it's so crazy, because we're playing these psychological dramas out without really even thinking about it and knowing it. It's so subconscious. I'm with her. Article 2 of the Constitution is describing the powers of the president. First paragraph says, the executive powers of the government shall reside with the president. Next sentence, he will serve for a period of 4 years, etc., etc., etc. Throughout Article 2, when it describes the president, it always uses the pronoun he. When this office was invented, there was never even a thought that it might be a woman. In other words, the abstract concept of a president is a man. The abstract concept. Now, let's get this straight. There's nothing in the law that says it can't be a woman. And I'm not suggesting that it can't be a woman. But what I'm suggesting is that instead, if you're really a feminist, I consider myself a feminist. I am about equality, which was what feminism initially meant. I'm about equality of the sexes in terms of equality of opportunity, not equality of outcome. And if equality of opportunity is what you're all about, instead of saying we need a woman president, your question should be, why the fuck would a woman want to be president when the idea of the president was always that it would be a man? Why would a woman want to put herself into a system that was designed to be a patriarchy? Dismantling the patriarchy does not mean putting on, figuratively, a strap-on and a pair of pants, some pantsuits. That's not how you do it. Like, where's the constitutional amendment to amend the Constitution to say he or she? Or where's the gender-neutral pronoun? Oh, my gender-neutral pronoun, people. Where's it at? Because it ain't in the damn Constitution. So look what's playing out. Look what's playing out. We got castration anxiety on one side. We got penis envy on the other side. America is a fucking 6-year-old at max, according to Freud. So, where does that leave us to this is the place that we're at. Where does that leave us adults in this whole conversation? Right? And if you find yourself gravitating like that, if you find yourself cheerleading for one side or the other, based not on policy, based not on objective looking at, okay, what is this person saying they're going to do? What is the platform that is there? That they're at least saying they're going to move forward on. Who the hell knows what the fuck they're going to do? Because they always lie, and they always do shit besides their platform. But if we're going to go on that, well, they always lie, well, then vote for nobody, right? But if you believe that they're actually going to do what they say, why don't you read the platform? Right? Why don't you grow up? Why don't you look at your own self and about, oh shit, maybe I've got some issues that I need to play out. Maybe go get some therapy. Because they're going to let you fall into that. They're going to let you. But think about that moving forward. And I guarantee you, it's going to get even weirder. Oh, by the time we hit November, there's going to be so much sexual weirdness and tension rolling around in this country. Maybe it'll be good for business for me. I'm looking forward to it.